You're only as good as your vendors. You're only as good as your employees. You're only as good as your customers. I mean, they're all major parts of us, but our vendors, we've partnered with Mark Andy, the premier press manufacturer in the United States. We've partnered with HP, along with Domino, the premier digital companies in the United States. We've partnered with CERM for our ERP system here, DuPont Cyrel for our plate making, FedEx for our freight. It takes all of these to make a successful company. They're family, and you've got to treat them like family. Without FedEx, I've got nothing going out or going in. Because we're such a service-oriented company, we've surrounded ourselves with great material vendors. And when you run 3 shifts, 24 hours a day, we have to stock materials on our floor ready to react. Avery Dennison, Green Bay Packaging, MacTac, 3M, great companies that service us. We need them as a main link in the chain to make us successful. At 20 years old, I left college and I went to work for my dad. We opened up in Atlanta. His company was called Metro Label at the time. Traveled the country opening up label plants, so I was pretty much groomed to open up label plants. I'd done the hiring, the firing, the training, sweeping and shipping and working the back of a press and running a press and everything from A to Z as far as it takes to run a company. When my dad sold in '98 to an investment banking firm, they fired me in 2000, made some great phone calls, people were on board, and we started up Abbott Label in 2000. 26 years later, here we are with our 5 locations: Dallas, Atlanta, Chicago, Mesa, Arizona. I preach God, family, health, and work. Growing up as a kid, Roger Staubach was my role model and my mentor. I wore number 12 in every sport I played. Roger Staubach, to me, preaches morals, preaches ethics. I report to Roger every day that I come to work. My picture is with Coach Landry and with Mr. Staubach. In my world, next to my dad, it doesn't get any better than those 2 guys. We've got 6 kids that just finished their freshman year that work in the summertime. I feel it's my responsibility to teach them choices and consequences and be that role model and mentor. Started out at Metro Label, we only sold for resale and never sold direct, and we've kept that philosophy up, and it's worked great for the family over the years. We love our resale customers. We love our other label manufacturers. We do a lot of work for a lot of other label manufacturers who might not have the same capabilities we have, whether it's fan-fold, whether it's digital, whether it's 17 inches wide. There's a lot of things we do, UL, ULC, that a lot of people don't. And we love the faith that our fellow label manufacturers have in us to service them. We carry over 400 different sizes of stock labels on the floor at all times, ready to ship out the same day. We've struggled with inventory over the years, running out, human error, people not implementing and processing properly. And with the system with CERM, scanning the barcodes in, scanning the inventory in, keeping track of it, keeping track of the min-maxes. When your people don't have faith in your system and they physically get up and walk out there to go count the labels, that's time, and time is money. And with this new CERM system, we're going to have exact to the knowledge, working live inventories so people don't have to do that. We did a lot of investigating. We looked at a lot of different companies, and by far CERM kept coming up as the premier system to go with. Esteban has become one of my best friends in life, much less a vendor. And it's important to have that relationship with him and his family, and feeling comfortable with that relationship really helped on the decision too. One of the big issues we had with other ERP systems is they weren't capable of handling multiple manufacturing facilities. And CERM by far was capable. And whether it's from our digital side, our Flexo side, our RFID side, our flexible packaging side, hopefully soon, that we're working on, yeah, CERM's 100% the route to go. Well, you listen to people, and all you hear when implementing an ERP system is disaster stories. And it's constantly, you look at a lot of our vendors and the struggles that they've gone through with implementing their new system. It's been a blessing so far with CERM. You know, they've been in, they've met with people, they've looked at the system we've had, and they've worked with the system we've got to move it over to their new system. And we're feeling very comfortable with the things we've done and where we're headed with that direction. We've got everybody all in with the training already and have been for months now. And when they get done, they come out and they're ready to go. You know, I think one of the keys with ERP systems, MIS systems, and you hear from people is making sure everybody's on board. You know, you've got some of the old school people that don't like new technology and try and fight their way through, and it's not happening. You're gonna have to get on the ship or get off the ship. You know, it's gonna run my company from A to Z. Our quoting department, from our order write-up department, our repeat orders, our purchasing, our invoicing, everything. And we're doing this for our customers. We are the most service-oriented label company in the United States. We've done surveys, we've talked to customers, and you know, the number one thing people say is they want their quotes back quick. You know, and we're gonna be able to deliver that now. Through CERM, we're gonna be able to quote, write up orders, run orders, hold people accountable on press. We're really excited to implement this new system. You know, that's one of the big keys. We're going to be able to relieve some people of duties that they have and move them into other areas of the company. You know, we're not looking to let anyone go because we've got such great people and we do such a good job of hiring people. But through CERM, yes. You know, one of the key things that we love about CERM is they're not settled. You know, AI has been a big conversation over the last year or two in the business world, and CERM is implementing new AI systems. So they're not just settled with what they've got as far as where their product is. They're implementing, they're hiring new people, new engineers. They're not settling for what they've got, they're growing what they've got.